All right, Islam, Islam, peace and love, peace and love. We're gonna give this a shot. Uh, Welcome to Parts of Publishing, an ongoing series presented by myself, Sister Zara Bay, for the benefit of our Moorish nation. First, allow me to rise and give all praise to the great God Allah, and honors to the forerunner Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and honors to the holy prophet in these days, Noble Drew Ali. All right. Trying a little something a little different today. Kind of new. I guess it's new. Let me get the. Gotta make sure I got the flag up there. Uh, my connection lately has been spotty, and that's a very kind way to put it. My internet connection. So the lives have been less than their best. So in an effort to keep with the spirit of the live, because I do enjoy the candid version of, I enjoy candid videos, right, unedited, or not too much preparation. So keeping in that, I'm gonna try filming live, but I'm recording it. All right. So Allah willing, this will work. And now, apparently, who is this? PowerPoint allows you to put video in your presentations. So when I've been saying I have my notes and I respect your time, because I respect your time, you all get to follow along with the notes, and you get to follow the notes along with me. All right, and now I get to include graphics as well. Allah willing, this will be a successful endeavor. Next slide. Okay, beautiful. Again, I am Sister Tahida S. Najila L. Please call me Zara Bay. I'm the managing editor of Califa Media Publishing, and I have been since 2014. I wrote and published my first book in the second grade. I want to say published just because, I made a book and I put my name on it, so I'm gonna count it. It was about kangaroos. My teacher was impressed, so impressed that I had to go start doing reading time with third graders. So yeah, I've been into the publishing book games for quite a long time. A little more background about myself. I am a graduate of Arizona State University Tempe. That's funny, I put Temple in my notes. Tempe, with a bachelor's of interdisciplinary studies in Asian history and elementary education, with a certification in Asian Pacific American studies. It's kind of interesting that I studied all these Asian topics, especially Asian history, before I even knew I was a Moor. All right. Little more background. I audited a course in paralegal studies at Roosevelt University in Chicago. I say audited because I took the course for someone else, and I could have sat for the certification, but I declined because, at least in Illinois, if you get a paralegal certification, you can only use your education under the supervision of a bar card carrying attorney. So I'm like, nah, I'd rather just have you can't take what's in my head. So I'd rather forego the piece of paper so I can keep helping my people. Currently, I am managing editor of Califa Media Publishing, the secretary treasurer of Mercy Charities Incorporated. That's Mercy, MRCI Charities Incorporated. And you can find more information about that either in the description box below or go to mercycharities.org. And you can find all of my spaces at Linktree / Califa Media. Oh, look at that. I forgot I had some stuff on here. What do I have on here? So yes, find me at Califa Media, Mercy Charities, Purple Paperclip, and Linktree / Califa Media. All right, Islam. Flowing so far. I won't keep y'all long. Okay, to the subject of today. Thank you all for being here, those who are interested in starting the process of writing your own book. All right, this is geared towards Moors, but anyone can use this information, make use of this information, and I welcome you to, because I've heard people say that the book market is saturated. That's about a bunch of poppycock, because one, every generation has its own perspective, and two, every individual within that generation has their own perspective. For instance, would be how many books are written about Abraham Lincoln every, I'll say 20 to 30 years, because that's about the span of a generation, right? Never gets old. The topic never gets old because somebody else with another perspective has another perspective to present the new and the past audiences, right? So yeah, so the book market will never be saturated. So this is my contribution to assist that with Moores, right? So what is parts of publishing? It's another aspect of the Moorish Renaissance in America via the printed word, right? This is an effort to encourage Moors to exploit their personal genius, right? Because we know Moors have been commanded to study, 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 you know. And after a while, you have studied, enough, including yourself, where you can speak thoroughly, on something. I would love to hear your perspective, no matter what it is. It really doesn't matter, right? Because I might have heard it before, I just never heard it from you, all right? So that study should lead to more than enough to compile at least one book for the benefit of all Moors and for the benefit of the world, because they're being extremely deprived by not having us involved in the activities of the human family, and we know it. All right. So this is all parts of publishing is also an effort to find assistance. All right. I don't know if teaching is the right word, even though my I have a degree in elementary education, so I can't help it, right? I love to teach. But I want to, I guess, teach and encourage others. If you're not going to write books, at least assist those Moors in helping putting out their books, right? The support staff, so to speak. So yes, we have the people. You might not be into, you might have studied, but you might not be into writing. You're into graphic design. You're into layouts. You're into web design. All of that. Even law, accounting. All of that goes into the book business. Every single piece of it. All right. And I've learned that over the course of going on 10 years doing this. Yeah, it'll be 10 years and another year and a half. No, not even a year and a half. Not even a year and a half. Another year and some months. So, continuing on. So, I don't know why this is here. Uh-oh, let me go back. It won't let me go back. Okay, anyway, so the one I can't get back to, that's messed up. It won't let me go back. That's weird. Let me see. Y'all learning with me. Can I go back? It won't let me go back. That's interesting. Okay, I don't know why it won't let me go back. And it looks like I have two cameras in here. Allah willing, this will work. Because anyway, so the slide that I can't seem to get back to, that slide was introducing the recap of what parts of publishing is. All right. So part 1, that goes back to I just gave you the reasons of parts of publishing, where it's an effort to encourage more Moors to do the publishing. Because right now, when I see Moors out in social media being asked, where can we get books about Moors written by Moors? So far, I'm only hearing 2 publishing houses. All right, R.B. Bay Publications, the flagship, right, and Califa Media. And then they might refer you to individual authors. All right, you individual authors, you need to set up publishing houses. It's just like, to put it in perspective, the difference between being an individual in Home Depot versus a business in Home Depot. All right, same thing. It's basically the same thing everywhere you go. The individual is the lowest form of corporation. So if you have some form of business set up, you're doing better already. All right. For instance, would be if you want to get your book into the Library of Congress without having to pay for it, at least not having to pay them. All right. You have to be set up as a publishing house. Individual authors have to have their book, they have to pay to have it put in there. And then it might not even be put in the library, it'll be put in a reading room. One of those things you learn as you go along. All right, anyway, so now that I've covered what number 1 was, part 2 of the parts of publishing, we covered the benefits and drawbacks of the different entities you can set up as a publishing house, not just an author, right? And I say publishing house just because, Allah willing, just because it's not that many of us, you'll be setting your situation up for your benefit. And as you're learning, you're making it possible for others to come in and seek your assistance. So instead of, being just a publisher, you can be a publishing house. Because, for instance, Califa Media was a publisher, had to turn into a publishing house when we started adding merchandise, started adding music, right? And now I guess maybe starting adding courses, because this is just an introduction, and I know I can go way, way, way deeper, but I don't know if I'm willing to do that amount of work, and just give it away. Anyway, but I'm not trying to rob people either. But anyway, so part 2 covered the benefits and drawbacks of the different entities to consider when setting up your publishing house. Topics covered in that video were the sole proprietor / unincorporated association versus incorporation versus trust, which we got to the first 2. We didn't manage to get to the trust. And Allah is the greatest. I'm so glad I waited, because since then I have become privy to trust set up through the temple. This part does not apply to anybody but the Moors. So I'm not worried about it getting out, because you can try it, but it won't work. It won't work on the American continent. I'll put it like that. All right. So Moors, we have a trust set up for us that you all should know about. And if you don't, I'm not telling you here. And you can use that trust to set up your publishing house. But I'm in the process of doing it, and I will go into detail once I've completed it and had it successfully implemented. All right. So part 3 of parts of publishing, and all of these videos are on the Califa Media YouTube channel under the playlist parts of publishing. All right. All right. So for the third one, we covered the various business platforms, not entities, the platforms for self-publishers and independent publishing houses. All right. Topics in that video included the pros and cons of being on various publishing sites. All right. How to leverage your material being on more than one platform, which reminds me, I got to go update some stuff. And the caveats of using free ISBNs. And we probably covered a few more things, but because the Moors who were in the chat were great. But that video was taped a minute ago, and I've had a lot happen since then. So if you want to know what else we talked about, you'll have to go check out the video. Let's see. So my notes say the other topics covered in the business section of the parts of publishing series. So those 3 videos, the first 3 videos, covered the business section of the parts of publishing series. All right. The business section is not done. It's just being set aside for the moment, because I think this section that I'm introducing today is more important. All right. Because the business won't even matter if you don't do this section I'm about to introduce. All right. The book business can actually be set up. So let me introduce the section instead of this section. So the section I'm speaking on today is parts of publishing, actually constructing your book or your manuscript. All right. And the business part can be set up after you're done with your book. Right. And it actually works better because the book is done, right? Sitting on the table. And as you're working through setting up my LLC, getting my EINs, let me go refine this. Getting my bank account, getting my stuff set up, getting my website set up. Let me go refine. So as you're setting up your business, you're simultaneously, if you're using your time wisely, refining your manuscript. All right. So the reason I'm switching gears, so to speak, oh, y'all like my shirt? It's not done. I just wanted to wear it today. There's a little story behind that. That's why I said it's not done. And it's interesting. Yeah, but I'll go into that. It'll be in the store soon. And yes, it does say clowns. All right. So back to what I was saying. I'm switching gears from the business section to the construction section of a book because I've actually had inquiries as far as, where or how to even begin a book in the first place. So if you're into human design, it's a form of astrology. I'm a manifesting generator. And I like human design. Tangent warning. I like human design because it forces you to test if what they're telling you is part of your design is correct, right? You have to it's like you spend your life testing stuff, which your life is, right? And mine, I've been testing it, and it says that I've seen that efforts are more fruitful. They yield more fruit when somebody asks me to do it. All right, so Allah willing, we're going to see if that worked, right, with this video. So Allah willing, it'll work with this video. Will be proven right yet again because it's been proven right quite a few times. So, brother actually asked me, he's like, I knew he had a book in him, right? I should say his name to put more pressure on him, but I'm not going to do that because he's a Virgo rising and they're kind of picky about that stuff. They're picky about everything, which I love. I love Virgos, how they're picky because they make perfect editors. But I know this more has a book in him because of how probably a few books because of how much he teaches, right? And how many different sources he pulls from. So it's like, no, you have something you need to say in paper and leave it for the future generations, right? Maybe stack a few coins in the meantime. And also, so is that it for that one? All right. Okay. So studied Moors who obviously have at least one book in them and still haven't released it, no matter how many times I ask. Praise Allah that at least one had the foresight to ask how to even get started. The brother I just mentioned. All right. Wonderful question. And if you're in here, you know who you are. Or if you're hearing this later. Okay. So invoking the spirit of Noble Drew Ali, particularly the part where he removed all excuses. I know this is not an excuse for all. Just making mention of it in case it happens to be an excuse for anyone. All right. This increase. That's the word. I don't want to teach. I don't want to give you a lesson. I want to give you an increase. So this increase is limited to the drafting of research papers or manuscripts. This is not for fiction. All right. So yes. So this series will likely be what's on here? Okay, so this series will likely be a review of what was probably learned in high school English and applied on most, if not all, college papers. All right. Little side story. I'm going to give a shout out to my high school English teacher. I think her name was Mrs. Strong. I'm going to say Mrs. Strong. And beautiful sister. And her name was extremely fitting. She had a very strong personality. All right. She was my English teacher, I think sophomore, junior year. She must have been a Virgo because of how picky she was with her writing. Everyone hated this woman. Abhorred might have been a better word, because she would read your paper, and if it didn't meet her criteria, she would proceed to read you. These are high school students. All right. I loved her. Because I got nothing but compliments because I just followed her instructions. She said what to do, I did it, and I learned something in the process. Look what happened to me, right? So thank you, Miss Strong. All right, from the Chicago High School for Agricultural Sciences, years 91 through 95. All right. So yeah. So topics to be covered include, let me see. Why did I put this here for twice? Okay, so topics to be covered include hypothesis, theory, and the concept being presented. How to put together your outline, right? From your outline, how to put together your note cards and how to do note taking. Sounding familiar yet? Then from there, reference citation and how to avoid plagiarism. That's a big one because I've actually had one platform, they took my stuff down because another author had kind of a little bit plagiarized. I guess I'll put it on me because I edited the book and I just missed something. And they made me sign something to out, well, I'll never do this again. And if you catch me slipping, you get to just shut my stuff down and keep any profits or whatever. It was messed up what they made me do to get back on it, which made me promptly sign up to be on another platform and take most of my business over there, right? But that's on another video. So after reference citation and how to avoid plagiarism, we'll go through forms of citation. Needless to say, I'm partial to Chicago style, also known as Turabian. And we'll also do punctuation, grammar, and timbre. Timbre is, your voice, which is why I say the book market will never be saturated because of that timbre part, okay, your voice. So, what else? That it? Yep, that's it. So, closing. It's long. Got this in finally. It's long. Praise Allah. So, in closing, gratitude for your time again. All right. Please visit me at califamedia.com. Find all my stuff at Linktree/Califamedia. And I will see you on the next one. All right. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, you can either leave them in the comments or email me at editor@califamedia.com. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you on the next video. Peace. Bye-bye.